Hello everybody, my name is Pixie People. Yes, the final part is finally here. It took me like a whole 2 weeks to do this. Last part is actually going to be a two-parter for today, because I don't like the fact that I have to start another video tomorrow. Okay, so here's the end, the Moro arc. So, after Yamcha, you know, calmed down barely, he now trains with Beerus and most of the time. Until he hears that a couple prisoners that are pretty close to Earth and Namek well, were broken out. So Yamcha immediately teleports to. He actually uses Kai Kai because he was able to win with Kaioshin for a bit. So yeah, he Kai Kais to Namek. Then he actually does find Moro there, with Vegeta and Goku right behind him. This is before they know that Moro can suck your power. Neither is Yamcha, of course. But, well, they start scrapping, and Yamcha does feel like a decrease in power instantly, so he backs up, throws a ki blast at Moro while he's not looking, and definitely sees the blast get absorbed into Moro's, like, body, and seeing the blast, like, pulsate through his veins. Then seeing Moro slightly de-age. So he immediately grabs Vegeta and Goku and backs up and then explains to them what's happening. And they figure it out, but Goku depowers into Super Saiyan 3, and Goku and Vegeta goes Super Saiyan 2. So they start sprinting at him. And yes, of course, Moro is winning now because they gave him too much godly power. But that's not the point. It's to show that that he is actually draining. And yes, Goku does feel that his Super Saiyan 3, his transformation is going way too fast down. And Vegeta definitely feels his power definitely decreasing. So Vegeta and Goku grab each other and they both teleport away. And Yamcha has to deal with Moro. Obviously, Vegeta goes with the Yardrats, and Goku just keeps and recruits Z fighters. Well, Yamcha has to deal with Moro. So they start scrapping, of course. Of course, Yamcha's on the losing side, but he is powering up as far as he can go. He goes basically super godly beast and starts hitting him with wolfang fists, hitting him with a key sword, but the key sword just faces right through him instead of cuts him, and then Moro freaking pump kicks him in the stomach. Um, then Yamcha gets thrown through with like 4 different mountains, but Yamcha then powers up again and then hits him with a full power Kamehameha. His Kamehameha is so strong, it hits Moro. Yeah, it hits him. It didn't miss, but Moro's still alive, of course. But he gets flinged off the planet into a moon. That's not even close to Namek because you remember Namek doesn't have a moon. Hit him with a 3 consecutive combo through 1, 2, 3, 3 moons. Forgot to mention he hit him through 2 other moons and stopped in 1 moon, which Moro takes as a challenge and then just powers up as far as he can go, which makes him he actually boosted himself with he boosted himself with Yamcha's Kamehameha, which makes him into his young state. Not where he fought Goku, but where he still had the goat head. He was just jacked. It's basically what he looked like in the Namek Saga before he went to Earth. Well, he glicks towards Yamcha, just actually glints. Like, Yamcha sees a star, then the star's next to him. By the star, I mean Moro. Moro pin slaps Yamcha into another mountain, which Yamcha does put a valiant fight. And then he sees all the Namekins disappearing. And Yamcha's glad that that's happening. So he keeps scrapping with Moro until Moro just has enough and hits him with I guess, a mouth beam and hits Yamcha into space. So Yamcha immediately goes into his, God of Destruction state, so he can breathe in space for a bit. Until Moro comes back and kicks him farther into space. So Yamcha, if he doesn't go back to Earth, he'll die. Don't worry, Goku's there. He grabs Yamcha immediately and teleports out. Like, puts his hand, teleports. Which basically made Goku completely out of breath. While Yamcha has the D power completely down from his beast state to his human state. To his godly beast, god of destruction beast. And then he just walks off. He says he'll be back. And then it reveals that he hit to the time chamber and decided to do that. Of course, Yamcha grabbed a senzu bean before he went up. He grabbed actually a couple, because this is going to be some rigorous training. Basically, everything goes down, except for Maris dying. Let's say he was a bit late, and then Yamcha was there first, grabbed his fist and put it down, pushed Maris back, and starts blitzing Maro. Maro? Maro? Maro. It's just destroying him. In his base state, by the way, which makes Moro get mad, so he powers up even further into, well, whatever state his without the goat head is. So Yamcha then powers up into his newest state, but like screaming a lot, which Moro then gets a bit scared. And then Yamcha then gets into a swole state, then his God of Destruction state. Then the God of Destruction state starts warping, like it actually starts warping the Earth around Yamcha, because God of Destruction. And then Yamcha powers up, and you see his hands that look like galaxies, and Yamcha having his full luscious hair, and his eyes being, let's say, golden. And then Moro gets scared, which makes Yamcha smile. Then he blitzes Moro and slaps the crap out of him, making Moro's face disintegrate, actually. And then Moro blocks one of Yamcha's punches, because, he hit him with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then Moro is disintegrating slowly. That is until Yamcha hits him with a destruction ball, but it's like the size of what Beerus threw at Goku in their first fight. And then sort of like when Moro tried to dodge it, it came behind him, hit him, but he's fine. He's just disintegrating slowly. He's making Moro suffer before he kills him. So then Yamcha pushes the air from he pushes the air from Moro's arm, and it freezes completely. Then Yamcha tears it off, uses it as a ram, slams Moro in the stomach, then fully disintegrates Moro's arm. So Moro is screaming in pain. So he decides to do his last resort and fuse with the earth. And then everyone gets concerned, but Yamcha doesn't give two f. And so he just grabs Moro's face, and sucks him straight off the earth. Like, it's his new power called absorption. Not actual absorption, but like the absorption of abilities. And the ability he just absorbed was his stealing ability. Since he's a god, I think he could do this. Nah, he's like actually a god now. Like, as strong as Beerus, type strong. But it does come at a cost, because we see right now. Yamcha then disintegrates Moro completely. But the problem is, Moro mortals weren't allowed to be as strong as the gods, so the comeback was he was erased from existence. And so Yamcha just disappears into space dust. Yeah, that's the end of Yamcha. What if Yamcha trained more? Not the saddest end. Well, actually, it's a pretty sad ending. Yamcha killed himself to save the Earth. Luckily, his friends still know who he is, and how he was, and what he was. Even Beerus knows. If you're wondering how he got this power, yeah, he trained so much that eventually the Grand Priest showed up and asked him what he was training for. Then Yamcha told him what he was training for. The Grand Priest told him, so, you're willing to kill yourself for this planet, correct? Yamcha says yes. So the Grand Priest says to, would you like to save this planet and be disintegrated into space dust? Uh, no. Well, then your planet's probably destroyed. Uh, why would I take this for these? And it shows the his friends, and then Yamcha just decides to do it because he feels like this is one of the opponents that definitely has to take a lot of self-sacrifice. Obviously, he didn't actually need to because Goku Ultra Instinct would have defeated him, but Yamcha doesn't know that, so he decides to just do it. So yeah, that's why he took the power. We see him first transform into it, and then we see him like burning his skin. Like it actually burns him physically. Like he's on fire. Then the Green Priest sniffs him out, heals him, and tells him that the transfer has completed. See you later, Yamcha. And then Green Priest leaves. Yeah, that first part definitely made no sense. Why I said, yeah, I'm not gonna make him too strong. Proceeds to make him able to kill Moro in a couple shots. Yeah, I think that was a lie. Sorry, I just really wanted to give Yamcha some cool abilities because I just like doing that. It's a bit more fanficsy, and I'm not really good at the whole Dragon Ball timeline stuff. And I haven't really watched the series that much, but I have watched I've read the manga, and that's usually why Yamcha was a bit cooler than what he is in the anime. Of course, it's what if, so it doesn't really matter. But I do hope he gets a power up. The humans, like Krillin, Tien. I hope, me personally, I hope Gotenks shows up again because I like him personally. He's really cool. If he was a teenager, which now they are a teenager, which I think that would actually make them an adult. Not because of mixing ages, just because I think they'd become an adult, just mentally. Because brash and active versus outgoing kind of fuses into a calm and collected person, which I'd like to see. Or some android power-ups like Super 17. That'd be cool. Well, that's all my rants for right now. Well, see y'all in the next part. Not next part, next series. Peace.